Hi everyone, it's Nicole for Simple Stories, and today I have a layout and a card featuring the Sweater Weather collection, and I've thrown in a little bit of the Legacy pattern papers as well. They coordinate really nicely with Sweater Weather, and I wanted a variety of pattern papers to fill in these die-cut circles. To start my layout, I have already pre-printed my journaling at the top of this Sweater Weather wood grain pattern paper. And I have die cut this circle shape. This is a design found in the Silhouette online store. I sized it so that it would span the entire 12 by 12 page and kind of cut off. Visually, this gives a much nicer look than it grounds the die cut, rather than if the circles were just in the center of the page, they kind of float. And so I grounded it by making some of those circles cut off on the sides. Now for my title, I am using all pre-made embellishments. I love the chipboard and die cut and sticker embellishments for the Sweater Weather collection. They have got these adorable little critters, and I think they are so cute and fun. They're right down my alley. I love all kinds of critter stamps and things like that, and I'm always using them. So I was particularly drawn to them in this collection as well. Now I combined the title, the critters, and then some of the additional little pieces like leaves and acorns across the top of my design right underneath the journaling, and I am grouping them together for the maximum effect. By grouping like items together like this, it really draws your eye towards them rather than scattering them throughout the page. So it really makes the title visually appealing. I did feel like I needed to add a little bit more adhesive to my chipboard stickers. I have found that sometimes they just don't stay put with the adhesive they come with. And where I'm overlapping some of them, it makes them even a little bit more likely to, move or fall off once I put them in the sheet protector. So to make sure that doesn't happen, I like to use glue dots. I have placed some of the regular glue dots behind the larger pieces, and then I've used small or bling ones behind some of the smaller pieces. That way, they are going to stay put and stay where I put them. So I'll continue to add all these little pieces and build my scene across the top of the page there, or the title. And then once I have all of those in place, I am ready to start filling in all of these die cut circles. Now, I have only adhered it along, or I haven't adhered it yet. I tried to place one of my photos behind the die cut, and I realized it was going to shift and move every time I tried to place one of my pattern papers or my photos behind those circles. So to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of adhesive to one side because I still want to be able to lift it up and place things behind it and things like that. But this will keep it secure and keep it in place by just placing some adhesive on one side sparingly. And then I can go to filling in all of the circles with the pattern papers or photos, whatever I'm using for that particular circle. I love this design because it's kind of whimsical and fun, and you can use quite a lot of paper and embellishments if you choose to, or lots of photos. This would look just as awesome if it was completely filled with photos. And I also like that the circles are not perfectly round. They're kind of more of a hand-drawn circle type look, which I find really fun. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I tend to like the size of 6x6 pattern papers for die cutting small things like this rather than 12 by 12. Simply because the patterns are often scaled down, so you can see more of the pattern. And Sweater Weather does not have a 6x6 paper pad. So to kind of even all of that out, I looked through my other Simple Stories collections and found that the Legacy collection really complements the Sweater Weather collection. So I die cut a bunch of the circles from both the Legacy 6x6 pattern paper pad and the Sweater Weather pattern papers. The yellow houndstooth is Sweater Weather, and I think there might be, well, nope, I think the rest is all Legacy, and then the background, of course, is Sweater Weather, and so is the brown circles. I just die cut that from one of the 12x12 pattern papers as well. Now, once I have all of those pieces placed behind the circle openings, I need to secure the rest of the circle, and I was trying to find the best way to do this. So what I actually ended up doing is flipping it over and just placing some adhesive on the circles. I didn't have to make sure that every single little piece was covered with adhesive, but I tried to make sure there was at least a little adhesive on every circle. It was a little awkward doing it this way, but it was so much easier than having to keep lifting up circles that shifted while I was trying to put the design together. So this actually worked out really well. So now that I have that all in place, and my title kind of lifted up, so if I didn't use glue dots, I did use a little glossy accents because I like it as well. And that way I do not have to worry that that's going to move once it's dry. Now comes what I call the fun part. That's the embellishing. And so I went ahead and took additional chipboard embellishments from the Sweater Weather chipboard stickers and some burlap stickers from the DIY collection, some other wood veneer shapes I have in my scrapbook stash, the Sweater Weather enamel dots, and some sequins, and kind of scattered them throughout the design. Some cardstock sticker phrases. I always love adding those to my scrapbook page layouts. And I just finished up the design with all those fun embellishments. I grounded some of the phrase stickers by sticking one edge or both underneath the circle openings. And then I positioned some of the other stickers here and there. And before I secured anything, I move things around quite a bit when I get to this stage because I'm working with what I have laid out and trying to find, the best pieces for my layout and to see what I like the best. Now, just like I did with that title grouping, I am securing any of those chipboard stickers with additional adhesive, whether it's glue dots or glossy accents. It just makes everything stay put. I really hate coming back months or years later and finding that pieces have fallen off of my page and are sticking or laying down in the bottom of the sheet protector and having to stick everything back down. So I have just found for me that it makes more sense to go ahead and secure it when I'm putting the page together. So I've left in a lot of my moving things around and, securing them finally when I decide where I want them to go. So you can kind of see my process, how I do move things around quite a bit until I get it exactly how I want it to look, and then I go ahead and secure everything down. Now I am really loving the look of sequins on everything. I think they add such a fun, nice, interesting touch, and I happen to use some pretty pink posh sequins for my layout here. They have some awesome sequins and great colors that I think work perfectly for fall. And I like using the Zotz Bling glue dots to secure my sequins. It is so much less mess than liquid glue of any kind. And the the Zot glue dots are so small, they work perfectly with the sequins. Now, I finished off my page with some of these awesome enamel dots from the Sweater Weather collection that, of course, perfectly match all the Sweater Weather stuff going on. And then I'll secure everything with my glue dots or glossy accents. Now, I love those little critters from my layout so much that I thought they would make the perfect card. And I use this Pretty Pink Posh die, this stitched film strip. I layered a couple of cardstock film strip dies here together, and then I have used an embossing folder for my cardstock background so it has some subtle texture. I'm going to layer these two stitched film strips together to give a little bit of a shadow to them. But what I love about these little critters from Simple Stories is so many times I love creating cards with stamped and colored critter images. And I've created quite a few kind of similar to this, but this is like so much less time by using these pre-made stickers. I thought it would be really fun to show just how fast you can put together a card when you're not stamping or die cutting or coloring, any of those things. These are already done for you. So it's the exact same concept or idea that I do when I am doing the stamping and coloring, but it takes a fraction of the time. And these critters are so cute in this collection. I thought that they look like something that I would stamp and color. So I went ahead and created my own little card with them. I'm just cutting off any excess here after I place them in the frames. And then I can pop that to my background. And that cute little thank you banner, I didn't even have to stamp that. That is a little pre-made die-cut embellishment from the Sweater Weather collection that comes in the die-cut pack. So all very cute and fun little embellishments. And I thought it needed one tiny little bit more. And so I have this fun floral sticker here. Great little fall florals that I tucked behind the stitched film strip and the thank you banner. Now once I have that, I'm just going to secure it onto my background with a tiny attacher. And I'll use some foam adhesive on the back of my panel to secure that to my card base, just for a little added dimension. And then just like my layout, I like to add a finishing touch with either sequins or enamel dots, and I chose to use some of the Sweater Weather enamel dots for my card here. So I'll just add this scattering of enamel dots, and my card is finished. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Simple Stories Sweater Weather collection. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. For weekly card making and scrapbooking videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.